So good day everyone. So Berio again of BerioTrades.com. So in this video, we will be doing our daily market summary or daily prep as we know dun sa mga dati nating content. So in this video, we will be doing our market review, what happened yesterday in the markets, and pati na rin yung mga headline news and even high impact news na na-release yesterday or nangyari right now before the market opens in the US market. So we will be also looking at the Philippine market and crypto markets as well. Papahapyawan natin yan as we progress in the video. So pasensya na, medyo wet look tayo. May ginawa akong mga plumbing works. And ayun, siningit ko lang tong daily market summary natin. So let's get into it. Let's look at our daily heat map. So starting with the ETF heat map. So this is a daily performance of all ETFs in the US market. So looking at the SPY, halos unchanged yesterday, and the Qs is 0.54% up yesterday. So tech outperformed the broader market basically. And looking at the small cap index, we can see that down yung small caps natin, or the Russell 2000 ETF, which is the IWM. So the mid caps, saan yung MDY natin? So medyo low value traded yung mid caps natin, but most likely down yung mid caps. So let's look at mid caps. Basically mid caps down ng halos negative 0.84% yesterday, no? So opened higher, then closed lower, even engulfing this green bar on Friday, May 31, 2024. So looking at the broader market, looking at all ETFs, halos mixed, no? May mga up, may mga down. But overall, looking at our sector indices like XLU, XLI, so down yung mga defensives natin. XLE, let's look at XLE. Nasaan yung XLE natin? So medyo hindi natin mahanap. But looking at XLK, halos up siya. And XBI. XBI is biotech. Biotech sector. So up siya ng 2.57% yesterday. So XRT, our retail ETF, is up by 1.34%. Semiconductor sector, halos 1.25% up siya. So XLE, ito pala, XLE, down ng negative 2.62%. So mga defensives natin like XLU, XLI, XLE, down sila, no? Emerging markets, EEM, emerging market ETF is up by 1%. So let's look at, medyo mabagal lang mag-reload yung ating ETF heat map. So looking at our stock heat map muna, we can see that Nvidia is up by 4.9% yesterday. So nice performance. Top value traded names natin, Dell, Apple, AMD. So mga semiconductors natin like AMD, Dell, mga down yan. Yung true market leader natin in terms of the semiconductors is up by 4.9%. So MU, medyo okay din, 2.5%. And as well as ARM. So ARM is up ng 5.48%. So VRT, one of the main names in the AI infrastructure space, down siya ng negative 2%. So involved with cooling ng mga data infra, no, or data centers. So MSTR, mga crypto names natin, up yesterday 6.75% MSTR. So looking at Coinbase, 2.42%. And ano pa ba yung mga main crypto names natin? So Mara, as well as yung Sun, yung HOOD, we can't look, hindi natin mahanap yung HOOD. One of the crypto names na rin siya, considered as crypto names, retail crypto related name. So yun, good performance coming from crypto related names. So GME, one of the meme stocks, no? Roaring Kitty related na name. So 21.11%. So AMC as well, up siya ng halos 10% ata, but overall we are seeing some deep pullbacks in the dito sa mga meme names or meme stocks natin. So nag-gap up at $40, then ended the session at $28. So big gap up, halos around 60% up, 70% up pre-market session yesterday. Medyo madaming naipit ata dito yesterday. So hopefully hindi kayo nadamay dito or hype lang or of some sort. So ayun, looking at our ETF heat maps again. So we can see that our TLT is up by 1.27%. So even saan ba yung AGG natin? AGG is up by 0.29%. So basically, looking at our bond ETFs, we can say that most likely our yields came down yesterday. So ayun, yields came down yesterday, even engulfing this green bar yesterday. So big down move below MA50. So this green line, I mean this blue line is our 50-day SMA line. So nice close below MA50 line. So next support is MA100. So hopefully mabasag niya yan. So in our Q2 debrief, 'di ba? Para na-discuss natin if our bond yields go down, like the 10-year bond yields, that's gonna be bullish for equities and as well as our DXY, no? So nice move, nice price nice action yung ginawa ng DXY for the equity space. So right now DXY is going down, even closing below the 100-day SMA line. So most likely the bull case for equities is materializing. And looking at our indices, mukhang okay naman. And it's reflecting with our indices, no? So yesterday, we gapped up, moved lower, even piercing below the candle open ng Friday, no? So kala natin, magkakaroon ng bearish engulfing na naman yung market. But nicely done yung ginawa ng bulls yesterday. Although right now, we are opening lower at around 524.59. So down tayo this pre-market session by negative 0.6%. So that's our SPY. But all in all, we are seeing a nice retest, no, of this previous high level or this significant swing high at 524 level. So ngayon, what we want to see is a reinflection of our 10-day SMA line, no? If we experience a reinflection in that 10-day SMA line, then that's gonna be a sign na it's a risk-on environment on a broader market perspective based on the S&P 500. So that's our SPY. Looking at our Qs, basically same price action din. Retested the previous swing high at 450. So sa NDX, ano yan, halos pares lang naman yung chart na yan. No, but for me, since I trade ETFs as well, I prefer to look at the Q. So this is the Nasdaq 100 ETF. Nicely retested at 450. So open higher, moved lower, even piercing the candle noong Friday, May 31, 2024. Then created this hammer again. So bulls for me, bulls yung nanalo on Monday's trading session. So we can also see that MA50 is reinflecting, MA20 and MA100 is still trending upward. So once it recovers above the 10-day SMA line, then that's a high probability na we might experience another move upward in the tech names. So the Nasdaq 100 is tech heavy. Mas heavy siya on the tech names, no, basically. So looking at mid caps, so mid caps medyo pangit yung performance yesterday. Hindi siya tulad ng Qs and SPY na nag-create ng hammer. So di ko ma-consider to as engulfing, bearish engulfing. Pero I consider this as a bearish candle. But right now, looking at the bigger picture, we are still on an early stage markup for MDY. So I think lang naman, in my opinion, the MDY most likely will create an ascending triangle. So that is a probability or a possible square root continuation pattern, no? So mga square root pattern or whatever. So pwede rin triangle yun, but basically yung pinaka-context nun is your bulls are being defensive or defensively buying at this candle range. I mean this trading range at 540 papuntang 560 level. So syempre bull case if it breaks above 560, much better 560, then mid caps will lead again in this market. So that's mid caps. Looking at IWM, same thing, hindi siya tulad ng Qs and SPY na nag-create ng hammer. So di ko din to ma-consider as a bearish engulfing, but what I can see is parang nagki-create siya ng inside bar, no? So this the bearish engulfing candle or big black candle. So it's just ranging inside this mother bar So, dalawa lang yan. Dalawang scenario lang yan. If it breaks higher, then that's bullish, no? Obviously. If it breaks lower, then that's gonna be bearish signal for IWM. So, basically, we can see na may lower high tayo. And, hopefully, hindi naman siya mag-create ng another move downward, no, for IWM. So, IWM for me is a signal na possibly we can experience a credit event or something, since IWM is the most interest rate sensitive segment, no, in all indices. So unlike the SPY, unlike the Qs, unlike mid caps, so IWM, since lahat ng components nan are small caps, and most small caps are fueled, or yung main source of capex opex nila is debt, or debt driven, basically utang. So if ayun nga, if interest rates remain higher for longer, then that's gonna be bad for small caps, no? Mas mahihirapan silang mag-refinance ng debt nila. Even yung interest expense nila might eat up their profit margins, no? So that's the issue with the small caps. Kaya din nakikita natin na hindi pa siya nagbe-break out to all-time high level. Although this is somewhat a sign ng accumulation. For me, classical technical pattern of a possible cup and handle. But syempre, since it's not yet transitioning to a markup phase in terms of Wyckoff theory, so no touch muna ako in small caps, or I'm gonna be underweight in small cap names. So that's our indices, no? So almost 10 minutes in na tayo. Basically, iklan lang natin yung video natin. We're not gonna prolong this video. Pang gusto lang natin ng basic overview in the market. So it's a nice Tuesday right now. Medyo maulan, and may mga power outages dito sa province. So I'm running on backup battery lang right now. Excuse. So next is to look at mga headline news, no? So one headline news right now na currently developing is that the ECB and BOC, the European Central Bank and Bank of Canada, is expected to cut interest rates this week. So basically ang pinaka implication nito is that the Eurozone and the Canadian Central Bank, or the Bank of Canada, is cutting rates na right now, no? So maybe the Fed might follow through, or might follow the monetary policy mandates of the ECB and BOC. Di natin alam, maybe di natin alam, no? But basically this can possibly move the dollar, no? Since the dollar is greatly tied with the euro, no, or may big correlation siya. So right now, lower interest rates for the ECB might fuel some strength in the dollar, no. So sana naman wag maging bear trap to, na tipong mag-move higher yung dollar. If the dollar moves higher due to that news, or due to that event na lower interest rates in the Eurozone, then that's gonna be serving as a headwind to equities. So bearish for equities if the dollar moves higher, no? But if the Fed signals us na tipong sabihin nila na we will also be cutting rates sooner or later, no, then that's gonna be good for the dollar. The dollar will weaken. If the dollar weakens, then that's gonna be good for our equities, no? So yan, one of the headline news story right now. So another news na gusto kong i-discuss is that the ISM manufacturing PMI yesterday, na ni-release yesterday, is lower than expected. So 48.7. So this is a contractionary signal, or somewhat a dovish news basically. Also recessionary, no, since lower than expected yung manufacturing PMI, even that na below 50 level siya. So if above 50 level, expansionary measure siya or expansionary signal siya for the economy in terms of the manufacturing, no? But if lower than 50, then that's contractionary. Construction spending yesterday was released, no, for the month of April, tama ba? April. So negative 0.1%. So versus the consensus of 0.2%. So lower than expected. So ibig sabihin, we are seeing some tightening in the construction spending space. Diba? So maybe it affected ITB, no? So ITB, the home builder ETF or home construction ETF, medyo sensitive siya sa mga news na yan, like the building permits data, new home sales, etc. But ito, construction spending lower than expected, so quite bearish news siya for home builder names. So new orders as well, manufacturing new orders, so 45.4, so lower than expected than the consensus of 49.4. So that is contractionary in some way, no? Another dovish data na pwedeng i-digest or pwedeng i-shrug off ng Fed, but this is showing us na the economy is contracting, no, in terms of the manufacturing PMI. So today we will be having our JOLTS job opening, so another high impact news na to be released today, no? So what we want to see right now is that basically, diba, ang gusto nating makita is a weaker labor market, diba, para magkaroon ng interest rate cuts or magkaroon ng rate cuts, no, basically. So if we print a lower JOLTS or a lower JOLTS number than consensus, then maybe that can signal the market na most likely magkakat na yung Fed sooner or later, no? Syempre, based on the previous talks or speeches by Fed Chair Powell, more of inclined siya to protect the labor market, yung unemployment, etc. So mas focus siya on the productivity, on the employment and labor market aspect, no, instead of the inflation aspect. But also tied din yun, parehas na tied lang din yun. So since our core PCE is lower than expected na nung May, nung May, then that's a signal na lower inflation, tapos possibly higher unemployment, no, based on the current numbers na nakikita natin. So yun, reflective naman siya sa 3-month bill auction, 6-month bill auction, so lower than the previous auction, no. Yun, anyway, so that's our headline news and high impact news, no. May upcoming pa tayo actually. So on Friday, expect some volatility, no. So we will be having our non-farm payrolls and unemployment rate. Actually tomorrow, ISM Services PMI, another data na to look at, no. If higher than expected services PMI, then we can expect some bearishness in the market. Maybe that's gonna signal na the economy is expanding. Maybe the Fed can have that allowance to not cut rates, no, or to keep rates the same basically, if higher than expected yung services PMI natin. So we also know that the US economy is a services based economy instead of a manufacturing economy. Basically, if higher than expected, that's bearish for the market. If lower than expected, lower than 50.5, then that's gonna signal na the services economy, the services sector or whatever is contracting, no? On Friday, more of labor data to, NFP and unemployment rate. What we want to see is a 3.9% print or a 4.0, hopefully. Sadly, no, bad news is good news, no, for the market. But ayun, ano siya, it's a big signal na we might experience some volatility on Friday. So yun, so that's our macro benchmarks, no? That's our macro benchmark. So ang di na lang natin discuss is US oil. So US oil, although weird. So let's look at WTI. So looking at WTI, so $73 na lang siya, no? So big down move in the US oil. So this is a sign na most likely economies are contracting, demand is contracting, or there's a decrease in demand in oil in general. But this signals us na inflation can be lower, no? Or might be lower, no? This coming months or this month of June. Since ang starting price natin for the month of June is at 78, and now we are down around from peak to trough na lang muna, no? So down na tayo around 8.65%. So isa to sa mga pinaka tinitingnan natin in terms of inflation, since the US oil is the most used commodity, no? US oil is the most used commodity. So US oil, WTI, if it moves lower, the dollar might or possibly can move lower, no? Highly correlated yung dalawang yan. So that is a risk on signal for equities, since we have lower possible inflation in the coming months, or this coming month, or this month, no? So looking at our ano pa bang pwede nating tignan, sige, bilisan natin, no? So tignan natin yung market internals. So looking at market internals, so still below 50% yung MMTW natin, yung percent of stocks above 20-day average. So what we want to see is a break above 50% level, no, in terms of MMTW. If it breaks above the 50 level, that's gonna signal us that the markets might move higher, no, towards another rally, no. So that's MMTW, that's our basic market internal. So looking at RSP, same thing, one of our market internal benchmarks, no? So this is the equal weighted ETF of the S&P 500. So gapped up, moved lower, but closed above the 50% of the candle range. So I can consider this as a neutral candle. So the market is currently at neutral state, no? On a market cap weighted perspective and on an equal weighted perspective. So in general, right now the markets are undecided. Yun yung parang pinapakitang message sa atin. So probabilities, no? Interest rate probabilities, medyo mabagal lang. So we can experience a cut maybe on September. So high probability cut on September, possibly on December yung next, no? So that's our rate cut probabilities based on the Fed Watch tool, no? Okay, so significant earnings today. Okay, so medyo naglo-load lang. Hindi na muna natin to discuss. So let's just look at the market internals yesterday. Although hindi nag-load yung ano natin, But kaya ganun? Maybe I'm experiencing some issues sa data. So last data log is May 30. So dapat na-log niya yung June 3, pati yung June 3 pati yung Friday data natin. So just looking at MMTW, just looking at the RSP and QQ, the equal weighted Qs. So equal weighted Qs, nice candle then actually, closed above MA100. So that's our broader market. So let's look at the Philippine market. Sige. So looking at the Philippine market, so gapped up but moved lower. So still below 6,400 level, no? Possibly we can even move lower if hindi mag-recover tong USD PHP natin, no? So we can see that the USD PHP can move higher, no? kahit na itong DXY natin, is moving lower na. The dollar is weakening. Pero the peso remains weak talaga, no? In general. Kahit na humihina na yung dollar mo, humihina din yung peso mo, no? So halos neutral lang din. So maybe baka gusto niya i-test pa yung 59 level, 59.12 level, then it can move lower. So yun, one of the headwinds for the Philippine market is our exchange rate, no? So it prevents foreign investors to move in the local market in the PSE, since the dollar is stronger, still stronger versus the peso. So syempre, if you want to go in sa emerging markets, isa sa mga pinakiniwasan mo din is yung mga forex losses, no? Foreign exchange losses. So gusto mo nandun nga sa point na humihina na yung dollar, or nag-strengthen na yung local currency ng market na gusto mong pasukan. So yun, that's the logic. PSEI still bearish right now, no? So that's our local index. Looking at crypto, let's look at crypto, then let's wrap up the video. So halos undecided pa rin yung crypto markets. So yesterday it moved higher papuntang 70k, even breaking above 70k, but end of day na supalpal lang din. The BTC is also doing an inside bar structure, no? So still hovering near the 50% level of this mother bar. So what we want to see is a tightening or a tight consolidation above the 70k level. Then doon pwede na tayo position in the crypto space. So a possible or a potential position play tong BTC USD natin, or Bitcoin, basically. So ETH, looking at ETH, also doing the same. ETH USD. Sorry, medyo ano lang. So yan, also doing an inside bar. So a momentum structure din. So what we want right now is a steady consolidation dito sa level na yan. So if it moves higher, if it creates a breakout above 3.84 or 3.85k level, then that's a signal na Ethereum can move higher or may move higher, no? So breaking above this wedge or this downward channel, classic setup. A breakout above the channel, a break above the wedge, it creates a mini coil, no? So yung duration ng coil na yan, ng mga coils na yan, is usually 1/4 of this channel duration from swing high to swing low. So 65 bars. So let's look at the current coil structure. So halos 15 bars na siya. So almost 1/4 of this channel. Once yung duration niya matures at the 1/4 of this channel, then that's the time na may high probability na bulls can step in or might step in this name. So that's Ethereum and our crypto markets. Sige, may mga nalilimutan pa ba akong names or something na dapat i-discuss? So let's look at PDBC, our inflation, another inflation benchmark. So moving lower, so nice. That's good news sa equities. Looking at liquidity, so moving higher. So that's good news for the market. So looking at the Mag7 index, no? So testing the EMA 10 or 10-day SMA line. Right now breaking above the swing high of 2.78k or 2,785. So this is the price weighted index of the Mag7. No? So hindi siya market cap weighted, hindi siya kaya ng trading view right now. But this will do, no, for the Mag7. So yeah, that ends our session. So I hope na nakapag-prepare tayo lahat. So pre-market changes, pre-market heat map, halos mixed, no? Majority are down, or halos sa mga big names are down, like Apple, Nvidia, Google, Microsoft, Meta. So, tignan natin in terms of value traded. So, yun. We can see that we are seeing some weakness this pre-market session. So, yun. No significant news today. Actually, JOLTS. It's a significant news later. No, around 10 p.m. So, expect some volatility around 10 p.m. 30 minutes after market open in the US market. So, that ends my daily prep, our daily market summary. So, I hope na may natutunan kayo and update ko kayo in the market. So, good luck, God bless, and have a great trading session, no, today, June 4, 2024. Yun, bye-bye. Ingat.